Back here on SportsLine, talking about the Titans right now in their incredible start to the season, 7-2. Best position under Mike Vrabel to this point, leading the AFC and in control of their playoff fate as we stand right here. We just heard from Mike Vrabel, the challenge of moving forward from that. How about Kevin Byard, though, who's played as well as anybody in the league this season at his position? He looks like the best safety in football right now. He's got 5 interceptions. That is the most of any safety in the National Football League. Obviously leads the Titans. He has 5 turnovers in this 5-game winning streak, 2 of which he's returned for touchdowns, including the pick 6 the other night in Los Angeles. And that play in particular illustrated the brilliance of Byard. Kevin Byard on that play was supposed to be in the middle of the field. Cover 3, he had underneath responsibility as the safety on that play. And pre-snap, he recognized what he saw in front of him and what was likely to come. And he communicated with Jackrabbit Jenkins, who was on his side of the field, and said, hey, you make sure to drop deep. Don't bite early because I'm going to go over there and make a play. And that's exactly what happened. Snap of the ball. Matthew Stafford opens up to make that as soon as he sees Jenkins bail out to go deep on the cover 3. And Byard jumps right in front of the pass for the interception, and he walks into the end zone, 24-yard pick 6. Kevin Byard continues to play well. He continues to lead this Titans defense and really lead the team that is now on top of the AFC. Here's Kevin Byard talking about that play and much more after the game.
Kevin, I remember a lot of games last year we'd ask about, the offense kind of carrying the weight for the defense. To be playing the way you guys are right now, making an impact, winning these games, how nice is this for you?
It's just great to get a win. We obviously understood the situation, obviously, an entire week, Derek and all that stuff. But we're just a resilient bunch. That's what I've been saying all year. Some games, offense don't play very well, whatever, in defense we got to hold it down, and it's vice versa. It's all about being a team win. It's not about saying that, the defense won everything. We did whatever we pretty much did whatever we had to do to get a W, and that's what it's all about. We talked about it in the locker room. Only stats that matter is 7-2. Power rankings, all that stuff, it don't matter.
The interception seemed like you read it really quickly. Can you talk us through?
I mean, really, like you said, play recognition. To be honest, I really wasn't supposed to be over there. But, pre-snap communication, me and Jack Rabbit kind of anticipating, quick game or whatever. And as soon as I seen the quarterback, his shoulder was open, I just took off and went and picked the ball off.
Was it 26 seconds there, Kevin? You guys, it goes from 3-0 to 14-3. What did that do for you guys in that moment? How demoralizing do you think it was for them?
It was big. We just being opportunistic. David got a pick. We ended up scoring again. Then I got a pick 6. Those type of swings in the games mean a lot. I'm sure stats out there, if you get a pick 6, you're more than likely going to win the game, or a block punt or something like that. So just big and just happy I can make plays for this team so we can keep winning.
What was the energy like, Kevin, earlier? You guys were harassing him, getting him on the ground, knocking down balls, and you have the pick 6. What was the feel on the defensive side of the ball?
Just confidence. Every game we go into, we feel like we're a confident bunch. We know who we are as a defense. We understand that we don't give up the big play. We make them kick field goals in the red zone, which we did really good today. We can beat anybody, and we feel like we can play with the best of them. So I think we proved it tonight.
KB, has there just been maybe something different you've noticed about this defense, like maybe in practices, the little things that maybe you didn't see last year that you're seeing now, and it's turning into that production you guys are having?
I seen in training camp just this defense with a certain swagger. The communication was great. I've been talking about the communication's been great. And like I said, I think as a defense now, we know who we are. We know if we don't give it the big play, like I said, we stop the run, they can kick field goals in the red zone. It's hard to stop these high-power offenses. They can draw the ball down the field, but once they get close to the red zone, we got to get stopped. So that's what we've been able to do. All the big teams or power offense, the Bills, the Chiefs, we make them kick field goals. We're in good shape.
Just having dragged that swagger through the tough start, no turnovers early, does that kind of amplify your swagger now?
No, absolutely. Because at the end of the day, we're putting it on tape, and we prove that, if we do these things and we stick to the keys that we go into this game, we talk about throughout the week, if we can stick to those things, we can win. And we also talked about, in our locker room, just not panicking. When they make a play or, they start getting something going, don't panic. Just keep playing, keep making them snap the ball. And like I said, we was in good shape today.
What does it mean when Jeff plays the way he did tonight for this defense?
That's what we expect from Jeff. The same thing that Jeff expects from me, I expect from him, to go out there and dominate, stop the run. I mean, we've been talking about earlier in the year, he's been getting double teamed and all that stuff, but, I mean, we talked about exalting in the middle of the pocket. We understand that Stafford is not a guy that's going to scramble a whole lot, but he was getting in the middle of the pocket. Danico as well got some plays. Bud had some plays down there. Honestly, man, this front four has been really dominant this year, including Harold. Obviously, he's been having a hell of a year, so just proud of those guys.
How much easier does it make your job when defensive line is playing at that high level?
It's a defensive back's dream. When you got front four guys that can get after the quarterback like that, you can do a lot of different things in coverage. So, like I said, I'm happy those guys are making plays the way they are, and we're gonna need them to keep making plays for us to keep being successful on defense.
You had the turnover last week. You turned to the camera and you said best in the league. That's what you feel you are. Do you feel like this showcased that you are the best safety?
I mean, I'm just out there trying to make plays. I mean, the thing about me is that, obviously I know the talk in the offseason was, me having a down year and all that stuff like that. But, I just went in my mind understanding that, hey, if I continue to do what I'm doing, the turnovers wasn't there last year, but they're coming in bunches right now. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'll let you guys and dissect who's the best in the league right now. Honestly, I'm just trying to be the best guy I can for my defense. And hopefully I keep getting turnovers.
Kevin Byard after the game, impressive stuff from him and impressive stuff from the Titans. And we go back to the phones now, and we have Kevin. Kevin, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for taking my call. First of all, what a good performance by the Titans on Sunday. That was pretty impressive, and probably not the greatest situation. Now, here's my thing. The Saints, they're a sneaky little bunch, and I mean that respectfully. And they like to stunt a lot on defense. And our front four, maybe not having the best performance over the last couple of weeks. However, how do you think they're going to handle that? My second comment is, how do you think that the Saints are going to handle the Titans' front four defense when we're able to drop like 5-6 in the back and just attack their passing game, which they are very good at?
Yeah, I think those are very good points you bring up. I think it's going to be a problem for the Saints. Remember, you're bringing in a new quarterback into Tennessee against this defense that's playing well right now, and I almost feel like I need to pinch myself when I say this, but I think from a front four perspective, the Titans are rushing the passer better than anybody in the league right now. And so the Saints are going to have to deal with that, and that quarterback's going to have to figure out how to identify who's where, if there is pressure coming from her. I think it's going to be a tricky situation for the Saints offense on the road. They haven't played very well on the road anyway this season, even when Jameis was under center. And from a Titans perspective, there is a concern about that offensive line. They haven't played as well as they need to play. They are beat up. Lewan was out. Nate Davis was out. Those guys have to get back in and help this offensive line out. They've got to start gelling together and play better because they need to, one, be able to run the football better than they did in Los Angeles, because that's a huge part of this offense. Even when Derrick Henry's not there, they've got to have a credible running threat. They've got to be able to run the play action game off of that run. So they need to run the football better, but they also have to protect Ryan Tannehill. You talk about all the injuries. The one blessing for the Titans is that Ryan Tannehill, as many times as he's been hit this season, hasn't been on any of these injury lists. He continues to get up week after week after week, start games and finish games for this team. That absolutely has to continue, and that's reliant on that offensive line protecting him. They've been better at that over the last couple of weeks. That has to continue down the stretch, especially with Derrick Henry out. Got to take a break. We will come back. More SportsLine on the way. This is News Channel 5 Plus.